and he's in trouble. He's going to run. He's going to get the first down.
Don't sleep on those legs. Oh, he faked the slide. Sauce time. The Pitt Panthers have pulled a stunning upset over the West Virginia Mountaineers.
And Johnny Majors gets a ride across the field.
Welcome back to Simplify Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Kaminsky, and to start off tonight's show, we have a special guest, Chris Berman, to do the quickest 34 seconds to recap the Sun Bowl. We go to the Sun Bowl, where the Pitt Panthers take on the UCLA Bruins.
Rodney Ham and Cheese took the subway, filling in for New York native Izzy Abanikanda for 2 scores.
DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, that is, just moved to UCLA, lost to Pat Narduzzi, and he's crying on the sideline, throwing 3 picks one more time.
Ethan Gerber, baby, he looked like the underclassman he is after filling in for DTR, who hurt his back carrying the T. Whoop!
And Nick, Peppermint Patty, had ice in his veins on the last play of the game, running for a first down to prove he's better than that California native Keaton Slow, Viz.
But late in the game, all the chips were on the table. Pitt was in trouble and they needed some help. They'd better call Sauls, who had a game-winning 47-yard field goal. Even though it was sunny in El Paso, Pittsburgh fans can expect hail in the forecast. From Pitt, that is. Panthers, 37. The Bruins, 35. We hope you enjoyed that. We're recording sort of a live reaction to the Sun Bowl, keeping all the memories fresh in our head. It's not just me, though. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Mason and Kent. So first off, Mason, how you doing tonight?
Pitt is 2-0 on the day.
Hell yeah.
Sun Bowl champions. Not much more to say than that.
All right, Kent, how you doing?
It's a great day to be a Pitt Panther. I'm thrilled. It's been a great day.
And also we have on a surprise guest, friend of the pod, Ben. So Ben, how you doing?
What's up, guys? Happy New Year's Eve, and feeling great. Yeah, as Mason said, Pitt 2-0, basketball and football. Great day at Pitt Sports.
Hell yeah. All right, so as always with our game recaps, we're going to start off going by sort of drive-by-drive, recapping the game. We're starting off, Pitt starts the game. As we all know, Nick Patty is in, and Nick Patty looked really good. I mean, this first drive, they're moving the ball. Rodney Hammond is running, filling in great for Izzy. The drive kind of dies.
It stalls out a little bit.
Stalls out at the goal line, but they kick a field goal, go up 3-0. Now, on the next drive, and this is sort of the story of the first half, UCLA just hit all the big plays they wanted, right? Like this whole
They owned the first half.
They owned the first half for sure. I mean,
they did whatever they wanted on this drive and the couple after this.
I mean, you know, it's second to the UCLA 36, and they pass their 51-yard play, which leads to a touchdown on the next play, right? So, you know, it was
on a 3rd and 8 too.
It was second and eight, but like these long plays are really what killed Pitt in the first half,
And that allowed DTR to get really cocky.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the first score where he headbutts Marquez Williams, right?
Yes.
It was Williams, yes.
Yeah, because Marquez Williams was one of the guys that was in the kind of middle of the skirmish that they had before the game. Which was, it was, I mean...
It was chippy early.
It was, and I love that the bowl games are chippy.
You would think like they were like the way they were playing earlier. You think like these are rivalry teams. They haven't played in 50 years.
I was gonna say, yeah, they hadn't played since like the 70s. Yeah, it's been 50 years almost. Yeah,
they were dropping names. Like the last time these two teams played, who was the quarterback for UCLA? And we were like, I don't fucking know, man.
What was it, Grammy winner?
No,
he had a Hollywood star.
Yeah, a Hollywood star. Yeah. Anyway, they go up 7-3 on Pitt's next drive. They move the ball again, but they stall out around the UCLA 30, and Ben Sauls hits his second field goal of the day, this time for 49 yards out. Keep that in the back of your head. UCLA's next drive, another, kind of the first half. 3rd and 8 from the UCLA 47, 49-yard pass from DTR. And
we were all-time bad on 3rd down in the first half.
Yeah.
We got them in a couple situations where it was 3rd and long, and they just beat us, whether it was passing.
This is
or
the 3rd and 8
scrambling.
I was referring to before. I got my drives mixed up.
You know what it was? It's like the first half was like classic Pitt defense, right? Where we're stopping them 1st and 2nd down, but on like 3rd and long, it's just like we let up like a billion-yard play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, what is to be expected, right? Because we had so many new guys in
Yeah.
the secondary. And, like, going into this game, I mean, we didn't even talk about this, but Zach Charbonnet didn't play. They're, all-world running back. But even going to this game without him, I was like, all right, DTR's an elite athlete. So I just had my hopes low. I was hoping we kind of play with their defense, which is
We both had our elite running backs out, so I feel like that.
we had more, but we had all the
He
guys
had a
that.
second elite running back that showed why he's elite.
Yeah, true. That's true. But like we had all the defensive opt-outs and they didn't, so that's why my hope was pretty low. However, okay, Pitt's next drive, 3 and out, and now UCLA's next drive is the first of 3 DTR picks and the first of 5 UCLA turnovers.
Yeah. This one was huge because
It was in the red zone.
They were about to score.
Yeah,
They were about to score.
and it was like it seemed like they were kind of starting to run away with it.
Yeah.
and it tips off the receiver's hands, and the linebacker.
This isn't this one. I think.
No, this one did. Yeah.
Oh, they're both off the receiver's hands. Okay.
No, it went off the receiver's hands, and linebacker made it.
Tyler
good,
Wiltz. Yeah.
good play with his hands.
down the
Good
red
catch
zone.
for a linebacker.
I mean, and you think if this game goes into half like 21 to whatever, but instead like because they could keep that UCLA score going up 2 scores before this, like this definitely kept the game in our grasp, right?
Absolutely.
So
So I think it would have taken us down to what 21.
21-6.
21-6
Yeah,
at the time,
it would have been tough early, but yeah, big momentum swing.
And obviously a huge momentum swing because they catch this interception at the 6, and then Rodney Hammond and Nick Patty lead the team down the field 94 yards for a touchdown. Like,
yeah, that drive really set the tone for the rest of the game. It was like that was the key turning point in the game for sure.
How many 90+ yard drives do you think Slovis had this year? Just food for thought. I don't actually know the stat.
Not even against like a top 18
Did
team.
Patty tie him? At least?
He might have.
I don't
Yeah.
even think he had one. Like if I'm thinking off the top of my head, I don't
He
even know
might have. He might have.
but like off the top of my head, like can't think of one. We're not going to go fact check ourselves. We're not that kind of podcast. But
If you're a fact guy, you go check.
and you add us and you say you guys are bastards.
You better put some pizza boxes in your reply.
Yeah, we're swatting you. You're gonna reply to us. We're gonna learn something, and you're gonna learn your lesson behind bars, motherfucker.
Greta Thunberg, we're talking to you.
Well, no, if that was the case, she would have all of us arrested. Don't post your pizza boxes, boys.
Don't do it.
Recycle them.
So, true. So anyway, Pitt goes down. Bub Means touchdown, and then a beautiful 2-point conversion, tie the game at 14. Now, before the half, UCLA has another long drive, another long play drive, and they go 21-14 into the half. Now, okay, 21-14, this is doable. Obviously, Nick Patty's shown that he can throw, they can move the ball a lot.
Felt pretty good at half, honestly.
It was like we're down, but this is a game like
We were very much in the game at halftime. The vibes were pretty good.
Yeah.
We were just in that position that we got 8 points. We got that 2-point conversion as well, and then UCLA got that touchdown. I was like, okay, we can answer again. We already did.
it was kind of like we knew they were getting the ball at the half. It was like, all right, get a stop, get the ball back. We're right back in it.
Yeah.
The quick score after the 90-yard drive was a little bit of like a letdown, but it was like we were still hanging in there. They had their top guy at QB. We had Net Patty. It was like we were still hanging in there. That's all we could ask for at halftime.
I agree.
For sure.
So moving into the second half, talking about getting a stop. UCLA on their first drive of the second half moves down all the way down to the Pitt 17. And maybe the second tipped pass interception, and this is another red zone interception. I don't know how much you can put on the defense. Like maybe there was some pressure, but like they just had the the tip drill and stopped them in their tracks. Like even holding them to holding them to 3 would have been nice, but the pick, like, absolutely amazing, you know. So obviously they get picked off deep in Pitt territory. Are you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
And that was by
Javon McIntyre. Yeah, number 20.
Yeah, and the big thing in this game, honestly, too, was targeting call that got called back, because if he got ejected, he made some plays later in this game after that potential targeting call. If he gets ejected, he doesn't make those plays. This might be a different game.
That's huge. True. That was a thought that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Glad the refs got that right. I'm gonna say.
However, when Pitt gets the ball back, they kind of go 3 and out, a run, then 2 incomplete passes, and this was a very long Caleb Junko punt. He went for 85 yards, which should have been rushing the kicker. All that stuff. The UCLA special team guys ran to his balls. Let's be real.
He did. It was he got a great smell of his jock strap.
Yeah, for sure. Well, after that deep smell, it must have fucked the UCLA team, because they got I think their first 3 and out of the day on the next drive. And this was a very bad punt by UCLA's punter. Pitt had excellent field position on the 50.
Yeah, literally midfield.
And this we thought was the second turning point of the game, where Nick Patty overthrows, I believe it was Mumpfield.
Yeah.
Just right to the defender.
Bubble screen, yeah.
Bubble screen. Defender was in the right place. He had to kind of throw over a blitzing cornerback.
Yeah, blitz off the edge, yeah.
And he just goes untouched for a 52-yard pick six.
As a defender, it's like the one you dream about. Like, it was the easiest pick six that there ever was. He threw it directly to him.
He got blocked into the pit six.
Yeah, he literally did.
Yeah, I don't know if he was looking at game tape and knew that was happening, or it seemed.
I don't think so.
It seemed like he just jumped
he
perfectly.
He didn't jump the play. The thing is, because it was overthrown, right? If he had thrown that ball well, if their blitzing corner wasn't there, the blocks were there, he would have dumped it in the basket and he would have gone, because they had blocks on the 2 outside receivers.
If they were able to get a good throw, it would have went for a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were blitzing off the edge, and Patty was trying to throw over the guy and just launched.
He just airmailed it. Yeah.
And it literally landed right in his lap. So
listen,
it was a gift.
Did we motherfuck Patty at that point?
Maybe
a little bit. Yes.
Yes, we did. But those plays happen.
Yep.
I guess you gotta live with that.
It was all about the next drive. It was like all right, that happened. It's still 14-point game.
It was fluky.
Let's have a good drive. There's still plenty of time left in the game. Let's have a good drive and score, and that's exactly what happened. Then we can move into that.
Yep. So we'll go into Pitt's response. So they get the ball back, and they just run the shit out of the ball. I mean, they're helped by sort of a questionable DPI call. I think the ref saw a jersey tug before sort of the pass reached Jared Wayne.
That was a little bit of a weird play. The ref situation in this game was a little bit odd. There was some questionable calls back and forth.
Questionable no calls as well.
Yeah, but it was overall, I can't really complain about the refs in this game. I don't think really UCLA fans can really complain about the refs in this game.
There were calls both ways that were.
Yeah, it seemed.
But it
wasn't a ref game.
Anytime you see a jersey tug, though,
they're going to call that.
It can warrant a flag.
Yeah.
And it was a small tug. Did it affect anything? Probably not. But you saw a tug, you saw the flag.
There was one later on Jared Wayne that they didn't call. That was probably more of a pass interference.
Yeah,
true.
But it was it kind of balanced out in the end. So
speaking of not really affecting everything, we completely missed over this. But at the end of the first half, Yarnell.
Yeah,
Yarnell
did
for
throw
a couple plays. He did throw an absolute dime to Wayne.
Wayne made a great catch. Yarnell made a great throw. Yeah, Yarnell seemed kind of pissed coming off the sideline, off to the sideline again. Yeah. But
then Patty did come back in, got sacked. We had to punt. But I was worried at that point.
Well, that's like a butterfly effect, right?
If was doing well,
because he got spun down, he hit his head. If he had a concussion, that's sort of does this game happen if Patty's on the sideline?
That's a good point.
We don't know. Yeah. We really still don't know anything about Nate Yarnell, right? So we kind of know what Nick Patty is. If Yarnell comes in, is it another Peach Bowl with Bevel last year, or does it go the same way? We don't know, but that is a good point. We were really scared when he went down,
because especially with Patty's injury history and the limited appearances he's had, we were like, oh god, it's another one of those where he can't even last a whole half without getting hurt. Yeah. But he bounced back in 2 plays. But yeah, Nate Yarnell comes in, makes a big throw. Jared Way makes a good catch on the sideline in traffic, and solid play. Yarnell didn't seem happy to come off, but it worked out.
Yeah. Okay. So following up that touchdown, UCLA goes 3-and-out once more. Pitt moves the ball a little bit. They end up punting on their next drive. Now, the next UCLA drive, Bengali Kamara on the first play of that drive is just in the right place, right time. The wide receiver for UCLA is wide open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
DTR doesn't put enough air on the ball, and Bengali Kamara is just able to catch it there. I mean, looking back on the playback, right, like, he's wide open. He's in a giant hole in the coverage, but he grabs it.
It seemed
he held down. If you're playing Madden, he held the button down as hard as you can instead of putting a little loft on it, getting over the linebacker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little touch pass.
Yeah, he didn't do the touch pass for sure.
But I doubt he just. I think he just didn't even see him. I think he just saw the receiver just with green grass around him and just ripped it and just did not even see the linebacker at all. And Kamara just comes up and.
I think I agree with Ken. It's just that it's very funny that he was very far out of position, or it wasn't great coverage, but he just happened to be the right place, right time, right?
Yeah, it worked out in our favor for sure.
Well, it does work out in our favor because on Pitt's, following that interception, Rodney Hammond's second score of the game. Now, following up this, they kick off into the wind, and the UCLA return man just muffs the kick.
Mm-hmm. That was big. This was also a big turning point in this game.
A huge momentum swing for sure.
Was it luck, or was it also just it was a perfectly placed kick? He had to run up and really focus on.
Well, thanks to the wind.
They kicked it to make him catch it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they kicked him to make him catch it. Maybe. I don't know if the wind kind of shortened the kick, but either way, the
wind definitely seemed to play a factor in that one. It just we got kind of lucky on that one, but we'll take it. But.
Now, however, they get the ball to 19. They kind of fail to score. They fail to get in the end zone. You go up 31-28. It's Pitt's first lead since their first drive of the game. Now, on the next drive, DTR goes out, and we later learn it's a back injury or something like that?
Some back spasms or something. Yeah,
at first we thought he got benched. It was he's throwing a few picks. Let's get somebody else in here and win the game. And then they showed him on the sideline. They were stretching him out. They were trying to do whatever they could, but
he seemed in a lot of pain. He walked off, and I didn't think it was much more than maybe he got the wind knocked out of him or something. I was thinking maybe ribs or something.
I didn't even see him get hurt.
It was a weird thing.
It was weird.
It was he didn't really get touched on that last pick, but you kind of saw him grimace in his face. He had been hurt before. So who knows?
Because it wasn't on a sack. Someone just pressured him and pushed him down as he got the pass.
The thing was too, when he comes off, he didn't look like he was in that much pain. But once the trainers got to him, he then started being much more pain when he was on the sideline. And I don't know if it was sort of something that got worse as time went on, but it was very weird to see that for sure.
Do you think that's karma for the headbutt?
The people are asking.
I'm not in the business of making a karmic statement on the podcast. I don't believe that I have the authority to do
Simplify has no comment on the karma of the back spasm for DTR.
Yeah, for sure.
Going from cocky and headbutting the defender after the first touchdown to crying on the sideline with the towel over your head, that's a pretty drastic change in a matter of a few hours. So
it was a visual at the very least. It was.
Well, either way, they punt on that drive. Their backcourt, Ethan Garbers, was not very effective. They were really backed up in their own end zone. Pitt's defense was flying around. They just had some sort of momentum. They were really flying around. Now, Pitt's next drive, they start moving the ball again with Vincent Davis. Nick Patty, they convert a fourth down, the UCLA 35. Now, they score a field goal. They failed to punch in again, so 34-28. Now, UCLA's next drive with Garbers in, DTR isn't in for the rest of the game. He goes out, goes back to the locker room. They fail a fourth down conversion, which very smartly, I remember this. I believe it was McIntyre who tried to pick it off. He failed the pick.
Yeah.
And he was about to put his head in his hands. He's like, oh wait, it's fourth down. He just took it off.
That's fine. It's a
was that the one that what yard line did they start on there?
the 25. This is after a kickoff.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of the very short one, but like on their own.
That was the one. That was the first drive for.
Okay, yeah.
So Pitt gets the ball with 2 minutes left in the game. Now they get to 4th and 1. They go for it, try and ice the game. And this is just sort of like the backup quarterback effect, right? They try and run a zone read. They kind of botch the mesh, botch the read. Ronnie Hammond fumbles it, and they don't convert.
And it was there.
Yeah,
and it was there. If it was a clean exchange,
if there was a clean,
more Patty.
It's getting
it's a
used to.
Signetti too. I think
No, they were running zone read the entire game. It's just a matter of like they weren't doing this stuff with Slovis, right? Like when Slovis would fake the keeper, there was never a chance he was keeping the ball.
Yeah.
When you're installing it, like going from a statue quarterback to even somewhat of a mobile quarterback, like Patty, who's not even like super athletic like DTR, he just can run. That's going to kind of put a new kink in. Like it's just like working with Patty and working with that offense, like it just happens, right? And like, as Mason said, they had it.
it was there.
Hammond cuts that back. They iced the game.
I mean, there is some there's some truth to what you're saying though, Ben, with the amount of times that we went for it on 4th down, one earlier in the game where we were
3
shotgun,
for 3 before that, yeah.
When we were in shotgun, and it was just like
And I don't
Just
think
get it-
Signetti should be trashed for this game.
Oh, he
because
called a great
especially,
game.
Like that last drive with 34 seconds left. We got down there. We got down there easy, and there were a lot of great calls on touchdowns, the 2-point conversion early in the game. I think he called a great game.
Overall, definitely one of his better games of the year, call wise. This fourth and 1 though hurt.
They should have snuck it. They should.
It was like, dude, in that situation with the game on the line,
that earlier QB sneak that they tried to do that they fumbled,
Yeah.
that plays
Yeah.
in, right?
Yeah.
That plays in.
All game we were like, they run it so well. Where's the play action, right? And then when finally they did play action, it was the Jared Wayne drop.
right.
Oh
through
yeah.
his
So we
hands.
forgot to mention
skipped
this.
Over this.
We skipped
yeah.
over this because I forgot what drive was on. But Nick Patty play action puts a beautiful ball, perfectly placed ball, Jared Wayne.
On the one.
I mean, he was getting in either way.
Yeah,
Like,
he's getting. But I'm saying, like, he was on the one. It goes right through his hands, hits off his face.
It hits. It like goes through his hands, hits off his face. The defender
Almost
nearly
picks it
picks it off, and
Thank God he didn't pick.
it's
that
only
up.
knocked off by the ground. And like, I think that was on the field goal drive to go up 31, I believe. But we would have been up then
10 and kind of the rest of the game.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It was
Wouldn't have really
31-28.
the rest
Yeah.
of the game wouldn't have really mattered at that point.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, we would have been up 10. It would have been kind of a done deal. Made for a more exciting finish, I guess. But at the same time, it would have been nice to kind of ice the game there. For sure. We were literally all together begging for a play action play. They finally run one. It's golden. It's right to our best receiver at the one for right in his hands, separation, touchdown. And it just
I
bounces
think Jared
right
Wayne,
off his face.
he catches that 98 times out of 100.
And this was yeah.
And it was like we finally got what we wanted, and it worked exactly the way we thought it would if they finally ran it, and they did, and it just didn't work out. They didn't really go back to it again after that.
Well, that was so late in the game.
It was
also we didn't have the time to go back to it, right? Like,
not maybe not that same exact play, but I think play action would play in their favor so well in this game. But at the same time, like I'm not complaining. Like he called it overall a good game.
Yeah. I'm starting to think more and more just Keaton was the issue, not the
But
OC.
this drive that we were talking about, the 4th and 1, I would like to see them just go under center and just go I formation and just go for it. You if the game is on the line, just go straight
don't
ahead.
let a fucked up mesh point.
Yeah.
Just
I was calling for a fullback dive from.
It worked a couple
Carter.
times. It worked a couple times earlier.
everybody knows you want to just get a yard and go straight ahead. Just do it. Just line up under center. Just.
Hindsight's 2020, right? Obviously,
Right,
the
sure,
sneak,
right.
the dive is better, but like the thing is, we were saying like the play was blocked excellently. Ronnie
was,
Hammond
it
cuts
was.
that back. He goes for like 5 or 6.
It was.
The
It was.
zone read did work.
It worked. Yeah, it worked. Just the mesh was bad.
Yeah.
So now there's 1:53 left in the game. UCLA has the ball in their 30. They go 70 yards in a minute 27 and score a touchdown. And
This was a fucking dry.
This is a drive because
They look good.
Garber's like wakes up. He starts like hitting easy balls. The best call on this drive from Chip was the run. I believe it was on us. Yeah, it was on their 2nd and 6.
We got like 54 yards on it.
34. Because no one expected a run.
54 yards on the drive with the first 2 plays. Or whatever.
It felt.
But it felt, yeah.
Like, this was a body blow. They go in, they score on 8-yard runs, 35-34, with 34 seconds left.
Morale was low.
Yeah, we were just like, oh, we covered. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, they scored, but we had also burned our last 2 timeouts
right
before that.
Oh, my God.
Because we call a timeout and give our guys a breather, and then right out of a timeout, we only have 10 guys on the field. We try and run a guy out there, putting on his helmet as he's running out. Have to burn our last timeout. Just killer. Just absolute, like...
It's bowl game shit.
Yeah.
It's bowl game
literally
shit.
just destroyed the whole mood. It was like, all right, we got the ball back now with 30 seconds, no timeouts, because we had 2 timeouts 10 seconds ago and we burned both of them.
If we had both of them and they scored, I would have felt
So much better.
Not good, but like
better.
okay,
A lot better.
we got a shot here.
The other thing is, it's been a while since a Pat Narduzzi timeout fuck up has like affected a game.
I feel like he's gotten bailed out
He did get bailed out
today for sure.
And so we'll go on to Pitt's final drive of the game. So they get the ball with 34 seconds left after a touchback. Now the first play of this drive is an excellent catch from Jared Wayne, sideline toe drag.
Great throw from Patty here.
This drive was just chef's kiss,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that first play was huge. Like, just set the tone for the rest of the drive.
Yeah.
Following that up, another catch to Bub Means, who made an insane catch.
David Tyree helmet catch.
Literally, like, I thought it was incomplete. The broadcast thought it was incomplete.
They hurried up.
I thought
to
it was
make
complete,
sure-
but then the announcers were just immediately like,
Oh, yeah, it was a.
he dropped it. It was like Jay Feely.
It was Jay Feely.
It was a Jay Feely type call.
They were making sure they got that next play
Off the crossbar.
They spiked right after.
Yeah.
So now this is the play of the game. 12 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Nick Patty, 11-yard run. When the fuck does Keaton Slovis make this play?
Exactly. He would never be able to do that. Yeah.
He gets deer in the headlights, 10 yards in the backfield. He's on a knee. He's on a knee on the 50-yard line.
And Nick Patty breaks a tackle from 2 different UCLA defenders, stays upright, has the wherewithal to cross the first down marker, fall down so the clock stops, spike the ball, and then
Peppermint patty, baby.
ice cold.
10 seconds left.
And then, 10 seconds left, Ben Sauls nails a 47-yard field goal into the wind. I mean, we've ragged on Ben Sauls in this podcast. He has been nothing but lights out since that Tennessee game.
He was
money today.
He was onions. And then
He was onions?
he had onions for nuts, dude. They were fucking massive. They were fucking massissive. He made every kick he took. Weird angles. I know he's missed some short ones before.
He had some like weird short ones from like the hash.
The wind was crazy, and he was money.
And it wasn't even like, I know the announcers the one time were like, oh, he barely made this, but it looked really good on TV. It was like pretty much no doubt from the time it was halfway to the uprights, like each kick, like he had a great game.
There was the one that hooked in, but this one didn't start hooking until it was through the field goal.
Yeah, it was like a very impressive day from Ben Sauls for sure.
So
remember at the start of the season, it was like, Sam Scarton was good last year. It's going to be Sam Scarton.
Yeah, no,
Probably.
That was the biggest shock in the beginning of the season. Like, oh, it's Ben Sauls.
And then after the Tennessee game, we were just calling for Narduzzi's head because
like we do,
because
Like we're wanted to.
because of the few missed kicks from Ben Sauls, and it's like it's easy to like in the heat of the moment, but in the grand scheme of the season, like looking back and after today, it's like Ben Sauls had a great season.
So moving to a little bit more of general game kind of takeaways.
Yeah, just takeaways after we've gone
Right,
through
because the last drive of the game is one play. Ethan Garbers gets picked off by MJ Devonshire. Game over.
And one thing I want to say about that is like I understand we spiked it just to like get it down, but if we knew we were gonna try and kick it there, I would like to see us just run 5 seconds off, then spike it so that there's no last play of the game, no last Hail Mary from UCLA, but that's also kind of nitpicky.
That's NFL
So,
stuff.
Yeah,
We're playing college
yeah,
football.
yeah. So for the Sun Bowl, I'll allow it.
Yeah. All-time celebration by Ben Sauls, too. Just taking off. Taking off.
Taking the 15-yard penalty.
But some general takeaways. So having a mobile quarterback for this game, looking forward to next year with Phil coming in.
Phil, not just Phil. Christian Bayer is a very mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
That is something to look out for.
I think that the kind of game plan we had today, beating a top 18 team in the country, it looked really good.
Yeah.
And there were some points where there were some hiccups, but it's a bowl game. You expect that. There's players sitting out. There's things going on.
Yeah.
But to open up...
basically, the post-Keaton era. The post-Keaton era.
Yeah. And this is going to be... So after Max Brown, we had the Kenny era. After Keaton Slovis, we're going to have an era. I don't know whose era it's going to be, but we're going to have one.
No more USC transfers ever.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
I
I think when Narduzzi knows there's a down year, he just grabs the USC quarterback, right, just to ensure that the next era begins.
The Narduzzi tank, in air quotes.
Yeah.
Right, like 9-4 is a tank, really.
Yeah. If that's what we have to do every couple of years to get back to the ACC championship and the Peach Bowl, sign me up, man. I was okay with this year.
I mean, yeah, like I think overall, like looking back on after this game, right, after seeing what Patty did, it's like, damn, do we really lose 4 games in Nick Patty? Maybe we still lose Tennessee, but
does Patty beat
Georgia Tech,
and yeah,
I think we beat GT.
I think we finished 10-2,
10-2, but because if UNC plays out the same way, we'd still be on the other side.
And it's like, hindsight's 20/20. We know that Patty, for all we know, could have gotten just hurt. Like it was like he almost got hurt in this game. He could have just gotten hurt in one of those games, and we'd be back to square one. But it's like, it's easy to play the what if game. It's nice to think about,
and we're going to the entire offseason.
Yeah. But talking about Nick Patty though, like talk about like an exemplary like Pitt guy. Like
he's a Pitt man.
Yeah, it's his third start in 5 years, and like he's 20 for 41, 224, but like it was just like his energy and like what he brought to the offense as a mobile quarterback. Like the vibes were different. Even in our beat down in Miami, it was just like, oh, we're just taking care of business. This one's like, we're out to fucking win, not just like play ball. And that's sorry, go ahead.
No worries. I'm a Commanders fan, NFL wise, and I got a little bit of Taylor Heineke fever from Patty. In terms of a backup that people just rally around, is a little bit more mobile.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have that kind of second guessing of, if he was the starter for the whole year, what would have happened? Because Commanders wise, Wentz started 1-4. So I got that a little bit of deja vu.
It's absolutely an energy thing. Like
energy. Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
You can give me every statistic in the book, but there's just a little bit of the eye test that goes into these games.
It's analytics. It's analytics.
Yeah.
And we love them a hell of a lot more than the analytics.
So great character guy. Great, just like, great story, honestly. Just Nick Patty.
Going out.
Thank you for your show.
Actually, let's clap it up real quick for Nick Patty.
Nick Patty, thank you. I know, sticking around, staying loyal to the program for as long as he did, to get as little time on the field as he did. But when he did come out, he balled out. He put everything on the line. Last year in the Peach Bowl, gave us a chance before he got hurt, broke his collarbone literally for us. Like,
don't forget last year in the Virginia game, he had the most important play that PI call that like kept us in the game.
Yeah,
like Nick Patty, like if this is your last collegiate football game, which I believe he said it might be, like if you want to if you want to play another year, like
predict that.
I think he said it on a different podcast that he was heavily considering like going into the workforce, right? But if you want to transfer down, you're our guy. We're gonna root for you. We're gonna give Nick Patty updates. But
I think that kind of goes for the entire, like everybody that roots for Pittsburgh. Like he's one of the most beloved guys that that we've had.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Kenny Pickett, like those guys, yeah. But for what he's done,
For the position he was in and the talent that he has to
this
see
game
the field,
specifically,
to see the field as little as he did in 5 years and play as well as he did, like the loyalty and just everything else that he gave to the program is like very commendable. And
Nick Patty, you always have a beer on me, and we can talk what ifs.
yeah, exactly. So,
Nick Patty, come on the pod.
so Nick Patty, whatever comes next, like best of luck to you.
Yes.
And just before we kind of wrap up with the game, it was just like storybook ending, right? The Pattiwagon, one last time, he rides off into the sunset with one of the most exciting wins in Pitt history, the biggest bowl comeback in Pitt history.
Yeah.
Like,
this is sneaky going to be, I think, one of the best bowl games of bowl season as well. I
Yeah,
think when you look at the
no.
theatrics of the game,
it's not going to be
was-
Kansas versus Arkansas, but
Terrific football game. Terrific football game. Honestly,
Yeah.
like if even if you're not a Pitt fan, you just happen to turn on this game. Like great
This was-
football game.
as
fun
a,
for everyone.
As a
Yeah.
Pitt fan, this one made you like want to die inside. But as a neutral observer, I think the best kind of football games are the ones with the huge, notable momentum swings that happen at, like on a.
And
on
it was
a-
just back and forth, high
so
scoring,
many.
high momentum shifts, like back and forth. It was great, high energy football game. Two backup quarterbacks in by the fourth quarter.
I think most neutral fans were probably rooting for Pitt. More
underdog.
backup quarterback.
more blue collar like that, and
It wasn't quite like
I
basketball.
also
We love
thought going back to DTR and other UCLA guys, just
Oh
they
yeah.
Drawing
felt
off.
so full of themselves.
Yeah, how's
that
the
how can
how's
you
the,
not-
how's the chess going, DTR? Wow,
Hey.
can't believe we made it to this point in the pod without mentioning the chess you're playing,
He's-
bruh.
he was looking like a rook out
Queen's
there.
Gambit. Queen's Gambit guy.
Hey, DTR, checkmate.
Stop the pod.
All right, that's all we got in the bowl game, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Real quick shout out to Pitt Basketball. Pitt is 2-0 today. Beat a ranked North Carolina. Both of these games were down to the very last second. They were both the biggest sweats you could have for games.
Who went
We
off
almost
today?
Back to back. It was like great just day to sit on your couch and watch Pitt sports.
Yeah.
Shout out Jamarius Burton,
Yeah.
career high.
What, 31?
Baller.
Bro,
Dude is a bucket.
He
Dude
shot
is a
like
dog.
95%.
Jamarius bucket.
Demarius Buckets.
He balled out. It seems like there's a different guy on the Pitt basketball team balling out every game. 3-0 in the ACC.
Rank them, baby. Fucking rank them.
Receive votes. Receive votes.
Yeah.
Rank them. We're 3-0. We're 3-0 in the best division in college basketball.
Conference. Yeah.
Yes, correct. We had a couple of bad losses early in the year, but we're a different team now.
It was like
Rank the
it was
Panthers.
like I think
Rank the Panthers.
I honestly think the bad losses early in the year were like
Wake-up
chemistry
calls,
issues.
yeah.
Like you just kind of had to put things together. Now we're hot. We've won. We've won a majority. I can't
bunch in
remember.
a row,
It's like 6
right?
of our last 7 or something.
Yes.
What do we have upcoming? Right, we got
UVA,
and
Clemson, and then Duke. So we got
Okay.
we really have a
Murderer's
like,
row.
It was like coming into to today. It was like UNC, Clemson, whatever. UNC,
Virginia,
Clemson,
Clemson,
Duke. So we really had to test our hands. I would be very happy with 2. If you had asked me this morning before the game, I would have been very happy with 2-2 in that stretch. But like we're 1-0 now. Like let's just
we have the
rolling.
dogs to do it. Let's go fucking do it.
yeah, it's like who's gonna step up in the next game, and just take over.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like we have a more complete team. Pitt basketball
Than they
might
had
be
in
back.
many years.
In many years, like
So my question on this is, do we think Jeff Capel is saving his job this year
Jeff Capel has 100% safety shot.
with what
It's
they've
early
done?
yet. It's early yet.
I think
but
it's too early.
you win a couple
But with the
more. You win a
recruiting
couple
class, too.
more.
The-
AAC, Jesus Christ, ACC games. Like if you beat we've already beat teams that we shouldn't have. If you keep
Yes.
winning the games that you're supposed to at this point,
Yes.
with where Pitt's at, I think he's okay given this situation. A lot of people are down on Capel. I think he's done a good job with the situation.
And it's like Hughley, don't really know why he's still out.
That sucks.
On the bench in a polo. So it's like you have a guy like that, and then you have obviously Dior.
Which sucks.
It's like it's like hard to play the what if game. It's not hard to play the what if game, honestly.
Because
it's
just
like
beat UNC.
if you have the team you have now that just beat UNC, along with a big guy like that and a point guard that is a stud, you can go a long way.
Because Burton and Cummings are very good guards, but they're not point guards by definition.
Dior's the point guard.
Sure, yeah.
And, like, you know, the big guys are like the Diaz-Graham twins, who are still pretty underdeveloped.
Yes. It's like, yeah, dude. We would have a very complete team with those two, because it's like you have Dior and Cummings at the point guard. You have, you know, a solid wing in Blake Hinson. You have two bigs in, you know, Hughley and Fede. And then Jamarius Burton balled out today. You have more depth and just a more complete team for sure. The twins coming off the bench, underrated.
We'd be remiss without saying that we were pissed off at Federico for a little bit of the game. Just
I think
missing a layup and then a dunk back-to-back possessions.
That was a tough part of the game. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time,
we are up and down. We're hot and we're cold. We're into Katy Perry. But
at the same time,
at the end of the day, we give our flowers, and Federico made a play or two down the stretch, and the Panthers got a win. It was a good fucking win.
At the same time, I'm very thankful for Federico, because right now, if we did not have him, it would be very bad.
Yeah.
It would be one of those teams.
We would not have won that game.
Yeah.
He made some bad plays today, but he also made a lot of very good plays that we would not have been able to make if we had our backup options behind him.
We'd be like the 2015 Thunder, where they just didn't play a center.
Exactly. We'd be back to like kind of where we were a few years ago, where we just didn't have any big guys that could play at all. So Federico, I'm not going to trash you. I thought you played pretty well today, minus like a couple plays. But I overall praise you. Thank you. Good job, Pitt Basketball.
Yeah. Good job, Pitt Basketball. Good job, Pitt Football. What a day. What a day to be a Panther. We said it once. We'll say it again.
What a day to be a fucking Pitt Panther.
Chance of hail.
Can we also
There's a chance? We got a hail warning. It's coming. Go ahead.
No, can we also say just thank you to, like, Izzy?
Yeah.
One time for the.
Okay. Let's give a roll call. Thank you to Izzy Abanikanda, Brandon Hill, Servassier Dennis, Haba Baldonado, Gabe Hoy, Marcus Miner, Kalijah Cansey, Carter Warren. I believe Hallett is leaving.
He played today.
Miner played today.
Respect for playing the bowl game in addition to probably leaving. Yeah.
But you know what? He announced he's still playing the game. Let's say thank you for your service. Thank you for making good memories of Pitt. Thank you for making plays. Thank you for playing for our university. Thank you for sharing our pride in the University of Pittsburgh.
Wearing the Pitt colors, wearing the Pitt script, representing the university well, balling out.
Giving us some victory lights, man.
Giving us some victory lights. Quite a few victory lights.
Giving us something to cheer about.
Giving us 20 victory lights over the last 2 years. And then we're going to end on that. Thank you for listening to Sample 5 Podcast. I've been your host, Zach Kaminska, joined by my co-hosts, Mason and Kent, and our special guest, Ben. Ben, do you want to plug anything before we get out of here today? Instagram, Twitter.
Give a little whoop!
Thank you, Chris Berman.
Thank you, Chris Berman. He ran back into the studio. But as always, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at Simple5Pod. You can find your hosts. Their Twitter's in the bio. That's me, Kent, and Mason. And we'll see you next week to recap the New Year's 6.
Hail to Pitt. Rank the damn Panthers.
Hail to Pitt. Happy New Year. Let's have a great 2023.